All right, everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives. Welcome to Saturday night. Folks, I appreciate you joining us tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about real progressives in general. We're going to talk about the state of the nation at Real Progressives. We're going to talk about some really exciting things that have happened, some things that we hope will happen, and we're going to talk about the road ahead for Real Progressives, and hopefully you can be a part of that success. So tonight, we're going to talk about the overall strategy and what we are doing, and it begins now. So last week, we filed for nonprofit status. We've been at this for 3+ years now, and we have talked about this for a long period of time. We had looked for legal support because what we're trying to build is complex. It's not like just opening up a mom and pop shop. It's got a lot of legal nuances to the kind of strategy that we have been dreaming of for almost 2 years now. It's been a very, very difficult road to hoe, trying to ensure that we dot our I's and cross our T's. For some people, that pace was not fast enough. For those people that couldn't wait around for the success, I'm sorry, but you did play a part in this, and we thank you for everything you've done. For those of you who have stuck by, we're just getting started. So nonprofit status does a number of things, but one of the most important things it does is it provides us a means of being able to get funding from people who would otherwise probably not be able to help fund us, people that would need a tax break, etc. It gives us a vehicle by which we can be a legitimate organization to make legitimate claims and to make legitimate pushes, a legitimate demands, and be able to educate a much wider range of people. We're hoping that the legitimacy of becoming a nonprofit also allows us access to places that we probably haven't been able to get to so far. I'm hoping that that will change as we head into this nonprofit world. But for those of you who have not followed Real Progressives, or maybe have not heard about what our overall plan is, I'm going to do a very, very short rehashing, if you will, of what Real Progressives is, what it is today, what it will be. And I'm hoping that if you guys are enjoying what I say, you believe in the mission, that you'll contribute, that you'll help us, that you'll volunteer. If you have skills, we're hoping that you'll be able to contribute them as well. So at the top, Real Progressives is made up of 4 key pillars. Those 4 pillars are policy, education, activism, and media. Within those 4 pillars, we have 7 very important knowledge areas. These knowledge areas are kind of like big buckets, right? There's a lot of sub-knowledge areas within each knowledge area. So at the top of the food chain is economic justice. As you know, this is an MMT shop. We advance modern monetary theory here. We understand that in order to have a progressive agenda, you've got to know how to answer the question of how you're going to pay for it. We also understand that a job should be a fundamental right for every American citizen and non-citizen. Quite frankly, the job guarantee is as much a macroeconomic stabilizer as it is a cure for generational poverty, as it is a cure for mobility from bad situations, and it also pegs the economy to labor. It prevents destitution. It prevents the ability of the owners of these businesses and the capitalists, if you will, from being able to exploit labor, because it gives labor a way out of bad situations, and it provides them with some much needed flexibility to be able to take some control of their lives and serve their local communities. So the next piece of this is environmental and ecological justice. Real Progressives wants to focus its energies on showing how we can, in fact, bring about green energy in a much more rapid fashion than many of the people who are running for office, many of the politicians who take a much more conservative stance in terms of turning back the tile on climate change and being able to, in fact, make the world a more habitable place for humanity and all creation. The next part of this is equality. There's nothing more important right now than equality, from income inequality to racial inequality and gender inequality, you name it. We are a very unequal society, be it class and be it 100 other ways. Neoliberalism has balkanized us into tiny little boxes to feud amongst ourselves. Real Progressives wants to make sure that we elevate vulnerable, impacted communities. We would like to be able to elevate those voices, and we would like to be able to elevate those issues and be able to provide real solutions collaboratively with the communities affected. We also would like to be able to ensure voting access for all, age, you name it, ableist, etc. We want to be able to impact equality wherever it shows itself to be unequal. The next one is peace with justice. What could be more pertinent to our movement than peace? Obviously, we have all kinds of geopolitical strategies going on that will most likely end up in bloodshed and death. There is an incredible amount of money poured into the military-industrial complex, and there is an incredible incentive to leverage that military for economic stimulus, amongst other things such as geopolitical maneuvering. Our goal is to provide a solid anti-war platform, a solid platform that explains how we can have peace in our communities, including community policing, being able to end the drug war, being able to integrate those who have been in prisons and have not been given a fair shake, that are now treated like second-class citizens. They've paid their debt to society, you name it, because what happens with recidivism is you end up with violence. People end up doing what they know how to do because there is no economy, there is no country for people who have been placed into the system. We would like to change that. The next piece of this is democracy. What could be more important than democracy? Democracy right now, we have seen the Democratic Party rig elections. We have seen the courts say it's okay for them as a private corporation to rig these elections as well. Even though donors have actively poured money into these things, thinking they had a real legitimate chance at impacting them, only to find out that party bosses, superdelegates, etc., have thwarted their ability to exercise their voice. This is also true with the way that they close down polling places and they remove people from the voting rolls. We want to make sure that voting is safe and secure for all. We want to bring about changes to the electoral process to enable third parties to have an opportunity to be on stage. We want to prevent money from taking away our democracy. The next one is health and well-being. Far too often, we just focus on Medicare for all. But there's an incredible amount of things that impact our lives altogether, from music to the humanities, you name it. Part of our existence is being part of nature, being part of one another, being able to lead a life that produces joy and fullness, not just pain and suffering through the neoliberal lens that we are in the middle of today. We also obviously support healthcare, but we're going to be advancing things such as universal dental care. We're going to be advancing things far greater than what the common space is that we hear about. We're going to be that bell. We're going to be the one ringing the bell, bringing people to the table to understand that there's far more to health and well-being than just getting Medicare for all. We're going to be speaking about autism. We're going to be working with local communities, trying to empower them to build proper early education facilities that empower young children that have been diagnosed with autism and sensory disorders and other things to be able to integrate and to be able to have a fullness and be able to achieve things in life without the heavy burden of ignorance from those around them. Health and well-being is a very expansive topic, and it goes all over the place, from women's health, you name it. The last piece, and this is not least, is technology and innovation. Technology and innovation should serve humanity, not serve the few. Technology and innovation should be there to make all of our lives easier, not just some of our lives easier. There is ethical use of technology, including everything from stem cell research on through to energy efficiency. There are so many things out there that impact our ability to survive as a species and to lead a life that is much more abundant. And technology and innovation can play a very big part in that. So that right there, my friends, is the 4 pillars of real progressives and the 7 knowledge areas of real progressives. We're looking for an intersectional message. We're looking for an intersectional organization. We are looking to bring people of all walks of life into the door. Now, one of the things that we want to talk about also is how real progressives will achieve these things and how we will get things done. One of the most important factors that we feel make us different from the rest, that empower us to do things that maybe other people won't be able to do, is using project management methodologies. By leveraging real tried and true practices that allow regular people to come into real progressive, step in and have a role on significant actions, significant building processes, significant activities that allow them to develop real world skills that they can take to their own careers outside of real progressives, and possibly even have a past experience for their resume. We are looking at building up a community of knowledge for building project plans, analyzing situations, building solutions, and then implementing them. Sounds like an IT company a little bit, doesn't it? The difference is that the people that we're fighting against, the powers that be, are not sitting there saying, hey guys, don't be organized. They want us to go away. They are very organized. They're well-funded in the many, many millions of dollars. Many, many millions of dollars the enemy has pouring into their coffers to take the thoughts of regular people and twist them into believing things that make us fight against ourselves. Our job will be to deprogram that, to provide a counter narrative at every level, from music all the way through policy. We want to be able to give people an opportunity to participate in direct actions that are well planned, that are actually put in place with plenty of opportunity for everyone to pitch in. We want to be able to help other organizations do planning as well. And more importantly, when someone has a really good idea, we can put it in our good ideas box. And as we go through each month looking at the ideas that we've accumulated, we will take the best of breed and we will vote on them as a PMO or a program management office. And in that, we will come up with the month's agenda. We're not looking at just doing one-offs. We're looking at doing sustained campaigns that produce maximum impact. So our video side of the shop, we're also going to be, we've got several people that will be working in an Adobe Creative Cloud, a collaborative suite that will allow us to produce top flight documentaries, top flight videos, not just these live streams, but really going next level, animations, educational material for modern monetary theory, for the environment, for equality, you name it. And our goal will be to be able to produce quality material that you are not only proud to share, but maybe you will learn from as well. So over the next several months, we'll be putting together our board of directors. We'll be looking for people both inside Real Progressives, and we will be looking to people that we feel provide maximum exposure and maximum impact, maximum value to not only our message, but to the people that are coming into Real Progressives, we want them to know that we are a solid, above board, transparent organization who seeks to leverage the lessons we talk about both externally and internally. Now, many people don't understand project management. They assume that it's top down. They assume that it is authoritarian. They assume a lot of things. But here's the thing. When you use something called agile, you have small teams working together, small teams that rotate their role on those teams to produce maximum value for you, the donor. And for them, if you think about this, many of our volunteers are working real full-time jobs and then raising families and then putting in, still finding 4 or 5 hours a day somewhere in there to help out with Real Progressives. Some of us put in even more than that. How much of that is because we're not doing things well? How much of that is because we're doing things inefficiently, because we don't have the right tools, because we don't have enough money coming in to have the right tools so that we can compete with those folks? So we as an organization are going to look to streamline how we get things done so that our focus is on actually delivering content, delivering activism, delivering media, delivering education, and delivering policy solutions. So instead of spinning our wheels, talking about it, trying to figure it all out, and then being too tired to actually take that next step. This is a lot of work. I can't explain to you how much work this is. But with over 100 volunteers, we are hoping that we will be able to place them in different places where they can provide not only fulfilling value for their own lives, but value to Real Progressives and the mission that we are about to set forth on. Now, the first nonprofit that we're creating is a 501c3. 501c3 is an educational entity. It's tax deductible for you to donate once that goes through. It's also an opportunity for us to do some great things with grants, to reach out to other academic institutions and partner with them to create real value in local communities. Our goal will be to create state, regional, and local chapters of Real Progressives, not just in the USA, but around the world, because our struggle is not just in the United States. The United States exports its #1 export, aside from the military, and that, my friends, is neoliberalism. That is getting rid of state services and getting you to pull up on your bootstraps if you still have some straps. And this is going on in Australia. This is going on in the UK. This is going on in Russia, China, you name it. It's going on all over the place. And now Iran's about to feel it even. But the fact of the matter is that we have an opportunity as we build our network globally and people start plugging in and they start rolling up their sleeves to do the hard work. Instead of just being around, hanging out, watching TV, why not be around hanging out and creating something, really establishing something that can take it all down, that we can work together to educate the public so that we can help all of the coalition partners within the progressive movement, so we can provide them with education, so we can speak to their people, so we can give them the tools they need to be successful. Folks, this is a huge mission. And I'm not going to lie, there are days when I wonder, are we up for it? This is a big mission. But as we become a 501c3, the opportunities to pull in interns, the opportunities to get others to donate their professional expertise to Real Progressives to give us that extra, I think we can do it. I think we can do it. We've been doing this for a while now. We've got what we do down. Now we got to expand it even more. But the next piece, like I said, is going to be a 501c4 or a 527 corporation. As you know, Tim Canova has Progress for All. Progress for All is a 527 corporation. The difference with a 527 corporation and a 501c4, one of them exposes their donors, the other one does not. But there are different reasons why we may or may not want to go one way or the other. We'll work through that. We'll talk to our board as we create it, and we will come up with solutions for that activism wing as well, so we can get heavily involved in bringing candidates and helping support candidates that absolutely want to bring about a new deal. We're not just going to be interviewing them. We're going to be providing air cover to them. We'll provide them with services. But this is not in the 501c3. That's in the 501c4 or 527. And then the last piece is our media group, right? Being able to provide media services, local chapters, providing local news, providing local actions, etc., and being able to stream them back and be able to produce content that is actually useful to the boots on the ground in their communities. We're going to be doing that. We're going to also be building documentaries and working with groups like Amazon Prime, Netflix, things like that. Our goal is to take this message that we've been honing and working together on for years now and work with the other groups such as Modern Money Network, Ben-Zager Institute, many, many other groups out there that are partners and friends, etc., working with them to produce this new aesthetic, if you will, that takes over the common lens that we deal with today and changes the way we look at not just money, but each other. The next piece to this is where you guys come into play. We need people. We need actual equipment. We need software. We need people that know how to use software. We need web developers. We need folks that understand media and understand marketing and understand organizing. We need people that are actually savvy at pulling the stuff off, that are well connected, that will stay within our mission. We're not changing our mission, folks, just so you know. You come on board, we've got a mission. We need your help to execute that mission. And so as we go forward, we're hoping that we will also be able to entertain good quality donations, folks that are really willing and believe in our mission that can help fund this thing. It takes an incredible amount. I mean, you just look at what it costs to render and produce real quality videos and movies, things that people want to see. They're not just like, hey, here's a live stream. I mean, I'm talking about really made for TV stuff. We need your help to be able to do that because we want to change the world. It's not going to happen if we don't do it ourselves. If not us, who? If not now, when? And that's the way we're looking at this. So this is a difficult job. It really, really is. And we need your help. And that's what I'm hoping that we'll get from you all. We're hoping that you guys see value in the work that we're doing. You know, we've had so many people on here. The list of names of people that we've brought through Real Progressives on the media side of things is just stunning. It's an embarrassment of riches. We've had everyone from Stephanie Kelton, Bill Mitchell, Ellis Winningham, Joe Firestone. We've had L. Randall Ray, Warren Mosler. We've had tons of people. Ian Dooley from Australia. We've had Dr. Stephen Hale. We've had Dr. Fidel Kaboub. We've had Rohan Gray, Nathan Tankus, you name it. I mean, the list is super long. Jamu Baraka. We've had Margaret Flowers, Kevin Zeese, Jill Stein, David Cobb, Melissa Figueroa. We've had so many people come on Real Progressives, and almost every single person that you've ever thought about voting for has come through the door as well. Everyone from Ro Khanna to Rodolfo Cortez, you name it. We've had tons of people. We've got Diane Moxley running in Jersey. We've got folks all over the place that have been here. Now it's time to level up. Now it's time to take that to the streets, take that to the mainstream, and really, really, really change the narrative, the way people see the world once and for all. So as we go forward, we're already in the process of developing a podcast. I've got the name for this podcast. I started advertising it. We recently got the equipment, the old microphone set up here, practicing with that. And we're looking at calling it Macro and Cheese. Macro and cheese, obviously macro being macroeconomics, and cheese because it's not going to be just straight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of excitement good guests, different sound effects, funny voices, funny characters, a new way of presenting the same material, but to a broader audience. We're hoping that this will allow us to build even greater presence, greater reach, and be able to get this message even further. Is this a tall order? Absolutely is. But like I said, we've got almost 100 volunteers now. We've got many people that are skilled on this team. Too many to name, so I won't start naming them. But for all the people that work behind the scenes at Real Progressives, I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for being loyal, for standing by us and making sure that we are the best we can be. Folks, thank you, internal Real Progressives, folks that have contributed your time, your blood, sweat, and tears, your emotional output, your hope in changing the world and seeing us as a viable way to do that. And for all the people out there on the outside that watch our live streams and contribute and wear our t-shirts and go to events and talk about us around the world. Quite frankly, I was amazed to hear feedback that people in the UK were talking about Steve Grumbine. To the people in the UK, thank you very much. It's not me, it's us though. And that's the thing. And we're taking that message from the Bernie Sanders campaign before he conceded. And we're taking that message along with modern monetary theory and the best of Jill and the best of the progressive movement. We're combining it into one, and we're taking it to the streets so that we have a voice. We're not partisan. We don't care which party you're in. We're not here to sell you a party. We're here to sell you on a mission. And wherever you go, we're hoping that you will infect wherever you go with a rogue strain of truth that can't be denied. And we're hoping that we give you the tools to stand firm in your truth and not waver. So with that, I'm hoping that you all will find value in putting your time into Real Progressives. We're hoping that you will find value in putting your money into Real Progressives. And we're hoping that you all will spread the word. Help us share this message to every corner of the earth. Leave no stone unturned. Together, we can move mountains. Together, we can change the world. Together, when you look at your children and you say, gosh, why did I have kids? The world is so bad. Remember, there are groups that are working together collaboratively to change this world for the better. I want to be a part of that. I want to lead the charge. I want Real Progressives to do the things that you want it to do. I want to make your lives better. And not me, but our team and you, our extended family. We are one. We want our indigenous friends. We want our water protector friends. We want all of you joining forces with us. We want to take to the streets when the right time comes and make real change. We want to be able to go to town halls and make sure they hear us. We want to make sure that wherever we go, the truth of economics and the truth of the progressive call is there. We want to create a more egalitarian society where there are no haves and have-nots, that we all are able to lead prosperous lives. I want to be able to say, when I'm on my deathbed someday, I did everything I could to change America and the world for the better. I'm asking you all, if you really believe in the message, if you want to make change, be a part of that change and help us grow, help us build these tools, help us overcome the naysayers, help us turn the naysayers into champions, help us build bridges with other organizations. If you lead an organization, let's talk. If you're a part of an organization and you think there will be value in our organizations talking, let's talk. Let's build partnerships. Let's find ways for me to scratch your back, you to scratch our back, and we all scratch each other's back, and we make progress happen. This is what we are trying to do. This is what we're hoping you want to be a part of. So I'm not going to keep you all any longer. I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. And I appreciate the sacrifice everyone has made in this movement, even if you're not part of Real Progressives. The efforts you've put in to try and change the narrative have changed the world and have changed my life for the better. I want to thank every one of you who has taken the time to care about being a citizen, who has fought against rigged elections, who has fought against income inequality, who has fought against bad laws. Those of you who are fighting to end the drug war, those of you who are fighting for equality, I want to reach out to you and I want to tell you we're your friends and we want to help too. We want to be a part of that struggle with you, from Black lives to white lives to every other lives in between. We want to be your partner. We want to be a part of the change for making this a better place. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Please donate, please volunteer, and please be a part of us moving forward. Thank you very much and have a great night, everyone.